All right, everybody, welcome to our bridge discussion. Myself, and Dr. Hayes would like to welcome Miss Shana Scoggins to the table. Hi, Shana.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. So we wanted to take this time with May being Mental Health Awareness Month, take this time to just kind of highlight in the church body and just amongst our other fellow believers what a life of a believer looks like that combines faith and mental health. And so Shana was a willing and a very brave soul to accept our invite and sharing her journey with therapy and faith and what that looked like. And so we just wanted to allow just an opportunity to have that kind of safe conversation and just to kind of highlight some of those ways that our faith can be integrated into our mental health struggles. So Dr. Hayes.
Yes, thank you for that introduction, and thank you again, Shana, for agreeing to chat with us.
No problem.
So just to start us off, let's just jump right into.
Oh boy.
So can you help us, I guess, get a glimpse into maybe the first kind of points in your life where you begin to feel like something is just not going right? Mentally, emotionally, where you were able to kind of like begin to identify that you were struggling with something, and what was that? What was that like? That process of coming to that place of like admitting or recognizing within yourself,
Right.
Something going.
Oh, I feel like there were different stages in my life, like from teenage, just dealing with teenage stuff, then going into adulthood. And I got married at such a young age. It was like 23. So I could kind of feel like right in there something was starting to happen, but I didn't really know. But I would have to say it really happened probably maybe 5 years ago. Just different things in marriage, with kids. I'm just like, something's got to happen. I'm praying, I'm doing that part of it, but it's like if there's something wrong in my body, I'm going to go to a doctor after a while to figure out what's going on. So I'm like, okay, I think I need a therapist. I think so. But I didn't really have any guide to know about it. So I kind of probably Googled it a little bit and then brushed it off. And then I did it again like a year later, then brushed it off. Then I think I met you, Cherie, in the midst of that. And you never were like, you need to go, you need nothing like that. But you really introduced the idea, just making it normal. And so at that time, I think I was more adamant about at least doing a little bit more research on it. And then I went to I think it's Psychology Today. And I actually went on there and started filtering like what I felt was my issues. I didn't really know what was going on. And then I'm just like, okay, I got to do this. But then something was going on with insurance. I pushed it off again. And then just life, probably 2 years ago, especially with the pandemic, I'm just like, I got to get in somewhere. And that's where it began.
Well, so it sounds like it wasn't a like single point in time. It wasn't necessarily some traumatic event where it was like, oh, all of a sudden but more of an accumulation of life and getting to a point of like, something's gotta change.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. I mean, there were things that were happening, but it was just, you know how you can have an issue, then it starts to resolve itself, but it was like issue after issue piling up. And I'm like, I got to get a hold of this. And that's kind of where I finally, I think I was kind of procrastinating and maybe nervous about it, but then I finally filled out the form and someone reached back out to me, and that kind of got it moving.
Yeah. So help us understand, the people, understand, like, what was there anything specific in the way that you were feeling or your behavior or just something that made you think that what you were experiencing was more than our everyday stress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Experience some form of stress, but sometimes it's hard for people to distinguish between this is kind of like okay, regular stuff, and this is like more than that.
Right.
Some of the things that you were experiencing that helped clue you to the fact that it might be more than that.
My mood was up and down. I could be good in the morning, and then by the end of the day, it was something, it just felt off, snappy. Things people would say would trigger me to have not the best responses. Allowing things to pile up on my plate, and then just kind of not blowing up, but I mean, it's pretty frustrated. Trying to think, there were sad moments, moments of not really wanting to do things. Would go ahead and do it, but still, like, it was like a lot of energy to force myself to do it. So those were some of the things I'm like, okay, something's off.
And those were things that seemed that's not your normal.
Right. It's not. I'm a go-getter. I'm one to go. I'm the one encouraging. I'm the positive one. Even in a negative situation. But sometimes it felt like I was saying it but didn't mean it. It was just like putting on a face to do it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it definitely wasn't myself.
So you already started to describe kind of this process of like coming to the decision of, okay, maybe I should see somebody, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't sound like it was like an automatic, like, yes, but like this, okay, maybe I'll do it. I don't know. It's back and forth. So when you finally got to the place of, okay, I'm ready to actually see someone and step out and engage in some form of therapy, can you describe what that experience was like? Right?
Wait. Sorry, I had a question right before we get into that.
Okay.
We're talking about as well mental health and our faith, right? Yeah. And so you hear a lot of times in the church, I prayed it away. Right? Was there any point in this journey before you actually got involved with therapy where you're just like, oh, maybe it's my faith. I'm struggling in my faith. Maybe I'm, some type of stronghold, because lots of people like to kind of over spiritualize mental health struggles. So was there any type of tension with that, or were you like, no, I feel like I need professional help right away?
Oh no, there were years of, what am I doing wrong? I'm not getting before God enough. I'm not in my word enough. It was such a struggle, like dealing with a lot of this was marital, parental, me being a mother and stuff. So it's like, okay, I'm dropping the ball and reading the word and praying over my children enough, speaking life into I'm like, I'm not doing what I feel I see others doing, or it just felt like I wasn't doing enough. Yeah, spiritually.
Yeah. But you still were like, but I feel like I need mental health. This is more than, it's not a spiritual battle. This is.
Yeah. I started doing the work of reading the word, fasting, praying, reaching out to others to pray. Mm-hmm. And there was still like, okay, I'm doing that part of it, but now what part, like in the, I don't know the word, what part can I do physically? What part, like I said, when you know that your arm is broken and I've done all of that. I prayed over it and it's still hanging there. I need to go see a doctor to go see if they can get it back in place or something like that. And I was finally okay with, I've done my part praying. I've done my part stewarding that part of my life. I mean, wasn't perfect, but I felt like I was at a point that I did quite a bit. This was years.
Okay. Oh yeah, thank you for touching on that. I just wanted us to at least kind of talk about that piece, because I feel like that's very pertinent. Like I say, in church where people are just have this kind of internal struggle of, no, it just must be my faith is lacking. And it's like, exactly what you said. You could be doing all the things, we're not perfect, but we can still be doing our part, but there's still something else that can help us. And it's okay. Right. It's okay to do both, right?
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Have your faith. You can still pray and have a prayer circle and all that, but there does come a part where you do need kind of professional help.
Mm-hmm.
So you sound like you reached that point in your journey, and then, sorry, Crystal, then what was your question?
I'm glad you interrupted, because that was necessary context into the question, right? So, it makes sense that part of your journey was the logistics, right? Like, how do I seek, treatment and all of that? But then also years of, addressing the spiritual part of what was on in your life before coming to a place of recognizing that there's something else. There's something
right. And I was encouraging other people too, probably with some of these same issues, encouraging them in the word and all this kind of stuff. And I was seeing things change in their life too. So I was just like, okay. And I never felt like God was saying, no, daughter, that's not for you. It was just me in the way of another way he was trying to intervene. So it was just, all I knew was what I was kind of brought up with, that, you pray it away, what I heard, and constant, that's it. That's all you do. But I'm just like, I know there's more to it. And it was a clearance from God to start reaching out to seek therapy. And what was crazy to me is my thought process of these things was not what I would have really thought. I thought I had to be one walking around like a zombie, or like this all the time. But it was like, no, you have it. You have it big time. But yours is kind of masked in different things, how you're operating. And so some of it was probably covered too. But yeah, it was so freeing. I didn't feel like she was